Utopia podcast. The party took down the Cyclops, joining the rest of the refugees at the Lying Woodpecker. Zibba handing out the belongings to those who needed them. Godfrey trying to help the sick. Morgus telling stories. And Livy gathering the party together to tell them that he is a Dampier. After their long and hard days, the party finally get a long rest. And that is where we find them.
All right, so we find the party hanging out in their tents and whatever makeshift camps they have made outside of the Lying Woodpecker, with the remaining refugees of the city having had a long rest and feeling a strange surge of power through them. As you all level up to level 4. The first question I have for all of you is, it's been a really long, 2 days. So I'm curious how long you sleep, because you went to bed, it was noonish, 1 p.m. when you went to sleep for your long rest. So did you wake up with the next dawn? Did you sleep
Oh, I know exactly how to answer this.
Was it noon or?
I think I was the only one who passed the Constitution check on this one to not take an exhaustion point. So I will be up at dawn, 6 a.m. being just obnoxious.
Livy will sleep for a whole 8 hours, which, considering he goes to bed at he only needs 4, is a lot for him. He's like, oh, I've never slept this much since college.
Sille will, she'll sleep in a couple hour kind of turns and wake up for a bit and then go back to bed, but culminatively take a 10-hour sleep.
Godfrey will post up, and after 4 hours of staring out at the southeast and realizing that he can't find sleep, he will get up and see if there's the ability to try to wash his deeply, deeply blood-stained clothes.
How about Morgus?
I think Morgus takes a normal rest period at whatever odd time it is, wakes up, and just stays in the tent with Bitsy, probably lights a candle, and just takes out that sphere and starts twisting and turning. And once there's a moment where there's a click and some runes flash with a blue light, as do his eyes glow, and his spine sits up a little straighter, and he kind of looks at Bitsy, kind of boops her on the beak and gives her some scratches, and then keeps going. And then there's a new configuration and another click, and there's this orange light. He shakes his head a little bit again, and then kind of checks the time and just gets some more rest until probably early morning.
Awesome. We'll start with Godfrey, as that is contained to your tent, Morgus, with needing the least amount of sleep. Godfrey, you find the spring in the back, in the horse pasture. It's empty. It's, people are tending to their families and being with each other as you take your clothes over to the spring.
Just spend as much time as he can, focused almost solely in on trying to get stains out. Just doing something with his hands to distract himself.
Yeah. You're there maybe an hour when Zara comes up and puts a hand on your shoulder. That patient I told you about, he woke up.
All right. Give me a moment to get dressed and I'll meet you up there.
And she leaves you to it. You see Kevin running with a flock of children, like Mother Goose behind him, just like the horses playing and rearing and bucking in the pasture around him.
So yeah, he collects his things and puts his probably still wet clothes back on. Heads up to the tent.
Sure enough, you see pretty much the same folks in the same beds, and the very last cot, the end of this makeshift hospital that's been created, is the gentleman that Zara let you know is paralyzed. She wasn't sure how to tell him.
Hello, good sir. What is your name?
Roderick.
Roderick. Roderick, did you sleep well?
I had horrible nightmares, but I felt relaxed. Is everything okay?
Well, what do you think? Can you wiggle your toes for me? And Godfrey will, hold on to his toes.
I'm doing it. Nothing happens.
It's not wiggling. How about your fingers?
I'm doing it. Nothing happens.
Unfortunately, they are not moving, good sir. Are you able to roll over right now?
You can see visible force and kind of a crinkle in his brow and his nose. He's not able to turn over, and he just starts.
Yeah. So Roderick, I hate to tell you, but it looks like you have been well and truly paralyzed. Do you remember what happened on your way in? What caused this? Were you in the path of the Cyclops? Did buildings collapse on top of you? Was it your spine?
Doorway, I was helping the school children out of the building, and the building collapsed on top.
It's very noble of you, Roderick. If you wouldn't mind, would you allow me to turn you over really quick so I could get a look at your back? And I'll ask other people if I need help, and kind of gently push him up and take a look at his spine and see if there's anything I could do for him.
Yeah, give me a medicine check.
Okay. Well, that's not bad. It's an 18 total.
Yeah, you see some severe bruising along his back. His shoulders, in particular, they're just swollen and inflamed and purple and green from the bruising. And with your medical knowledge, you're not sure that this is permanent. This not you need some bed rest. You need this swelling to go down where your body can allow you to begin to move again.
Okay. All right, thank you, Godric. I'm going to put you back down really quick. All right, so I've got a bit of good news for you. There's a lot of swelling happening back there. Some just up around your shoulders and on your back. There's a chance that once the swelling goes down, you will be able to move again. But it is important for you to get plenty of rest until that happens. All right, make sure you take it easy. Maybe if we have some, Godfrey will look towards the assistant here. If you have any like herbal remedies to take down the pain or to ease the swelling, that might accelerate things. But it's just going to take some time. All right.
Okay. Zara kind of looks at you from across the bed and nods. We can make a peppermint and garlic poultice. That should do the trick.
All right. Is there anything else I could help you with?
No, well, Zara looks at you. Everyone needs tending to. You have the
Right.
time and the energy.
That I do. And then Godfrey will spend as much time as it needs just kind of helping folks around the infirmary.
Yeah. Livy, you are the next to wake from wherever you're sleeping. Where is Livy sleeping? Do you have a tent? I know you kind of stole one from the carousel court. Does he set that up
Did
before he
steal a
goes to
tent.
sleep?
Yeah, I think Livy, he didn't want to be, like some of those guys who pretend to be incompetent, so he tries to do it himself. It doesn't work super well, but he's like doesn't want to ask, and I think Sille like ends up just like doing it, like helping him do it, and he feels very embarrassed. Because he didn't want to, and so he like rolls out of the tent a little like blurry-eyed and confused, and does his usual thing, writes in his journal, like, and he does something he hasn't done in a while. He actually does the bard thing of, doing music, and he kind of like writes a very quick melody of how he felt in this town. A lot of despair and hope kind of all mixed into one, and feeling afraid and relieved in equal measure. And he kind of just like sits down and practices it and plays it a little bit. Like he's not really used to this. He's kind of like a little bit rusty. He's played it just a little bit for Sille. Like he just sits on a stump and plays like outside. I think he had a lyre. Huh.
Will you wake to the sounds of Livy?
I wake up and I'm groggy, and I've been sort of in and out the last kind of 10-ish hours. And I kind of wake up and I haven't let him know that I'm awake yet. I'm just sort of listening to him play and letting myself wake up. After about 5 or so minutes, I get to my feet, and I've still got most of my armor on. I've just sort of propped myself up against any sort of like debris wall if I can. If there's or like a pile of rubble. And I'm going to see if I can spot Godfrey and see if I can start being useful.
Yeah. Give me a perception check.
It's a lot of people around.
Not that it's difficult, but he's kind of within a tent.
13.
Yeah, you hear his voice before you see him, and you're familiar with where this hospital tent is from the day before, and you're able to know, like, instinctually and just from the cadence of his voice that carries, that is where he is.
I'll head towards and I'll enter the tent and ask if I can be of any assistance to him or to whoever's in charge.
Zara just kind of nods as she leaves the tent with some bandages that need to be washed and refreshed as you kind of approach the tent and Godfrey's standing there.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm helping as best I can.
I mean, that's not really what I asked, but...
It's not really something I want to talk about in here.
Fair enough. What do you need?
Yeah, and Godfrey will give like the list of things that Zara was working on and that he's been working on.
Finding herbs, washing poultices, rotating beds, cleaning sheets, taking out bedpans, It's not lavish, but it's good work.
Sille's used to performing certain sort of ceremonial washing, and not necessarily funeral rites, but different sort of community work. So she'll sort of get right to it. You know, she's got her armor on, but she'll sort of roll up the tunic she's got underneath and just start being useful.
Yeah. Livy, you see Sille kind of wake from her tent and listen to your melodies a bit before heading off in the direction of the hospital tent. And you hear some, what I can only imagine to be beautiful Morgus mutterings. And Sille kind of like groggy in her tent or sleeping bag, just stretching as the rest of the party starts to wake.
He'll feel a little bit guilty about waking people up, and he'll like put it away. But make sure to like he'll write down what he's done so far. Not particularly satisfied with it, but he's never been satisfied with anything he's ever made. And that's kind of why he stopped making music. I don't know if that's relatable to any other creator here. And he'll go in and ask if he can be of assistance to anyone.
Yeah, you find Philip kind of stirring the pot of the fire where Morgus was singing the songs the night before. And if you head into the lying woodpecker in the kitchen, there is a round, brown, bumpy fruit. If you could grab that for me, that would be great.
Sure. Do you remember its name, or? No.
No, actually.
I'll just get it. That's a good enough description.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Is that a good enough description?
Yeah. You head into the lying woodpecker. You head back to the kitchen, and you're looking for something that's vaguely avocado shaped. It's easy enough to spot
in their avocados
among the potatoes and the tomatoes.
It's the reason I love her own a house.
Yeah. These hipsters in there, like if they didn't eat so much avocado, Cyclops wouldn't have attacked their towns. Ever thought about that?
At this point, Zibba, you woke to Livy playing his lyre, and I imagine you kind of, in the way that teenagers do, kind of rolled around and was like, nah, I don't want to wake up right now, kind of a thing. But
how early is this lyre music? I didn't want to sleep in. Why did I sleep 12 hours? Probably fine.
However long you want to have slept.
No, I wanted to wake up early, but that's okay. I imagine that...
Forgot, I'm sorry.
I imagine that Zibba would probably actually wake up a little earlier and to continue to, like, pass out their presents. Or not presents, but like the things that they gathered to the kids, and bring back their toys, and like maybe play with them a little bit with their toys and show them new ways to play with it, and maybe try to convince them to share if possible. And then like for the other kids that if I'm assuming other children will be like, well, where's my toy? Did you find this? Did you find this? And if I don't have those toys and couldn't find them, I'm gonna try making them new toys. Just out of things nearby. Like I'm gonna find like that really like long, like grass with like the wheat ends with all the seeds, and I'm gonna plug it from the end, and I'm say, this is your pet caterpillar. You protect this caterpillar with your life. And I'm gonna like show them, I'm gonna get them like sticks, I'm gonna like clean off of the like edge pieces of the branches coming off of it. I'm gonna show like, all right, I'm gonna teach you guys all how to fight. You're all be soldiers today. Who's ready to be a soldier? And like riling up these kids way too early in the morning. All right, like if I do get to the point where like someone comes out and like shushes me and be like, you need to get away from like where people, like injured people are sleeping. But just trying to like cheer up the children where I can and like give them new toys and find ways to entertain them, keep them away and keep them out of the way. Maybe of adults who are trying to fix their town.
I feel like that person was Godfrey.
That came out and was like, you need to move it.
Zibba, you're being too loud.
What do you mean? Everyone should be. Shouldn't people be awake by now? I thought I heard the rooster crowing already.
Yeah, the people who aren't injured, who have all of their bones.
Period.
The ones who don't need their sleep.
Well, we're not being that. We're just trying to have some fun.
It's fine to have fun.
Loud.
Just keep the volume down. You're at
You gotta know
here,
how.
and I need you down here.
But it's not just me.
Okay.
Why are you telling me this?
Because you are responsible, and I trust you to tell the others.
A bunch of kids run up.
We found.
Listen, Zilla, it's fun to have fun, but you have to know how.
Zibba's gonna like take like a half glance back at Godfrey after saying this and be like, all right, I might like the look says, okay, maybe you're like partially correct in this. And they'll turn back and be like,
Right.
and now we must take the caterpillar army out to the spring. Be like, let me show you how to make your caterpillars do a trick. Watch this, I can make it jump.
There's just all these kids with like wheatgrass, just like making it do things.
Yeah, you can make it like spin around in a circle, or you can even make it do a loop over someone's head. Over someone's head. Super cool.
I love this so much.
It's so pure.
Livy, you make it back to the pot. Philip says, have you ever seen one of these before? I hadn't seen them. I bought a few from the trader, and well, I must warn you, something unique happens.
Oh? Can I look at it to see? I'm not that good at plants, but...
Yeah, give me a history check.
Oh, dip. 16.
You are familiar with both avocados and a rare plant that looks like an avocado, but is actually an avocado.
Oh, God. This...
And
Wha-
this might be an avocado.
I think this might be an avocado. They look a lot like avocados, but they're a little bit different.
That would make sense because, here. And he has cut it in half at this point, and he hands it to you. And sleeping inside of the ripe green fruit of this avocado-looking fruit is what looks to be a cat. The shape of a pit, with tiny little paws and tiny little ears. And
Livy's
it kind of
heart.
opens its eyes and goes, meow!
His heart melts. He's in love with this. He loves it so much.
They seem rather fickle, but they do attach to people.
I thought Livy was a dog person.
None of them have chosen me. Philip says to you.
Oh, it's so cute. Hi, buddy. Well, I mean, are you... To be fair, you're kind of like killing its home. I don't know how this works.
I think they regrow it. I don't know either. Again, none of them have chosen me, so I don't have one to compare to. But if it likes you, you can keep it.
Do you like me? He well, if this is like a normal cat, normally Edward would lay on the ground perfectly still and get my That's what you do, or at least what I do, because they like it when they can be on top. Like they like it when they're taller than you. You put your hand out, and they will either like just stare at you, and then eventually they'll approach you, sniff your hand, and if they decide you're okay, they'll forcibly shove their hand into, like they'll forcibly shove their head into your hand, demanding pets. Or I'll just give them catnip. I'll just buy cats love with drugs.
So what are you
I don't
doing to
have-
this?
I don't have catnip. I mean, it's in a tiny little thing. So Livy doesn't want to make it feel crowded. So he'll like hold it up with his hand, and he'll like get his finger, not like shoving it all up in its face, but close enough that it can sniff.
Mm-hmm.
If it so desires.
It kind of... Give me an animal handling check.
I'm so scared. Oh, I only have a +1. That's a 3.
Oh no. It kind of goes and kind of like turns to turn its face away from you, and you just see this tiny little branch of a tail with little leaves on it as it turns its butt to you. Around this time, Morgus, you begin to leave your tent, and you just see Livy and Philip standing around this pot with this strange avocado fruit in their hand.
It's too early in the morning. That sort of thing.
He's an owl person.
Oh boy. All right.
Oh
And
my
then
God.
yeah, Bitsy definitely fades in as she flies out of the tent and alights on my shoulder, and I'll give a little scratch as she puffs up her feathers. Some indignant about something that Morgus hasn't quite tuned into, and then I'm gonna go look for like coffee or something, tea, something. I don't know what to expect.
Stumble around the camp looking for coffee or tea. You eventually find it with like a family with a small fire in front of their tent, and they offer you some. And Livy, you're stuck with this avocado that has turned its butt to you. Mechanically, you have 2 more tries to make this avocado your friend before you can no longer try anymore.
Okay. Livy takes he's going to take one of the apples that Zibba gave him and cut a tiny little thing off and put it like at kind of the tip of his like fingers, and like he'll like sit down and like offer it to this thing. Again, not pushing, just be like, oh, do you want this food?
Okay. Give me another animal handling.
Okay. It's gonna be a nat 1. 7.
No.
That's higher, but
Not quite enough. It does turn back around and kind of sniff out at the apple, but it isn't ready to take it from you yet.
okay. The last thing he's gonna do is he's just gonna be like, okay. And he like kind of like places it on his knee, and he takes out his lyre and begins playing the lyre.
Okay. Give me a performance check.
Maybe I can do this. 24!
Oh!
Yeah! New mascot! New mascot! I
With
saw
the
the picture. It's
24
so cute.
Yeah. The avocado just like tucks its legs, its 4 legs up under itself and rolls in a perfect circle like an avocado pit over to you. It sits on your knee, it puts its legs out in its ears, and it goes meow, and it starts to sing along like cats do as people play guitar or lyre.
Oh my god.
New friend, as you can now add an avocado as a pet on your character sheet.
I'm so happy. I've never been happier before in my life. Oh my god. Its name is Avocado.
Yeah. That's what you're naming it? Avocado?
No, I may think about this a little more. That's the first thing that popped into my head because I'm a degenerate. I need to think of a mixture between avocado and cat.
I think it fits Livy. It's an avocado pit, and you have a dog theme.
It is!
thing.
His name is Pit! His name is Pit. Okay, it's decided. His name is Pit.
Around this time, Morgus, you found your tea. Sille, everyone is washed and kept, and Godfrey, everyone's been taken care of for the morning. Zibba, the kids are well entertained, and you all find your way back to this main campfire, close to where you slept for the evening. You see this new friend that Livy has made.
Hey, if you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Here, let me explain. Anchor has all the tools to allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Whenever hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. And best of all, Anchor's totally free. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
I'm going to swarm you with my horde of children.
What?
We want to
Please
see
don't.
a bit.
I can show you, but don't swarm them.
Just one back. Okay, everyone
It's still
sit
too
down in
early.
a circle, and Livy will show the pit to everyone.
As all the kids kind of swarm around, it goes meow, and it curls into a circle, and you see like this thin layer of green start to regrow. As it starts to regrow its little outer shell.
Aww. Does
Do
it
you
seem like
get
it
to
likes
show
the
it to all the
or is
kids?
scared? Well, it depends if it looks comfortable or not.
It looks scared of lots of people.
We're sitting down, orderly.
Okay. Everyone, if you all stay quiet and sit, I will stand over here and don't crowd. Then I will open my hand and I'll show you him. No touching. His name is Pit. Do all the kids do that?
You know, there's
I'm
gonna be
gonna
one
roll
kid
for
that's
the
gonna be like,
kids.
shh, 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 shh.
Kids are chaos, so are
Yeah,
dice.
They are.
Let's roll for the kids.
As this is happening, Sille is going to cast the very tiniest little mauve ball around Pit and cast the world's tiniest sanctuary. Just in case one of these little fuckers
They
tries to
won't mean
mishandle it.
to, but they will.
Yeah, Livy isn't gonna let any of them touch it, but they can look.
I rolled an 8. I think it mostly goes well until like one or two kids are just like, "That's so cool!" and they're just like yelling and like trying
Okay.
to touch
I feel like they
it.
get
Livy
into
will
an
instantly
argument. Like
stand up
one
and, like,
kid's
walk
like, "You
away."
need to be quiet." They're like, "We're being quiet," and then it's just snowballs.
Exactly.
Yeah, he'll immediately stand up and be like, "Oh, sorry. This is a living animal. It has need. You can't just."
You just hear a chorus.
Oh,
Oh
lucky.
man! I'll be like, guys, they laid down the rules. If you don't follow them, no fun for anyone. Okay, you can go. You're gonna have to try again later when we can handle it. All right. Let's go back to the campfire. I'll teach you some more songs. What sound does the frog make? That's right, Matt. Okay, get back. We're gonna go. We're gonna go learn it.
All right. The party has gathered all together. Zibba's about to leave with kids, apparently. Does anyone stop her?
We're around the campfire. We're just making campfire songs unless I'm dragged away.
What time is it in the day at this point?
Yeah, it's probably like 1 p.m., 2 p.m. the next day. which, you slept a good amount of time. Everyone got their long rest.
Is this on 25th or 26th?
So this is going to be the 26th of 5.
Okay. And is it just us around the campfire, or are there more?
Other people are milling about just to get stew from the pot that's kind of constantly simmering, and Phil comes around and adds and subtracts, but it's mostly just you all around.
Mm-hmm. So I've been in the infirmary most of the day. Has anyone managed to get a good look on how many town's guard are still around?
Not yet. Mostly been trying to help people and writing down events, trying to remember things.
Makes sense.
No, I wish I could say I was keeping track in between naps, but I can go do that, though. I can try and scope it out.
I'm more than happy to help with that, Sille.
Yeah, if you're up for it, I could use the help. Go for a wander?
Hey, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Godfrey, do we need anything collected while we're out?
For what purpose? I mean, we could always use more herbs at the infirmary, but if you mean for traveling back.
Just if anyone here needs anything, if they'd said. But herbs are always a good shout. Morgus, you ready?
Aye, let's go.
Mystic, can I ask something? Would I at any point hang out with these kids all day, heard about if any of them are still having missing relatives?
Oh yeah, lots.
Okay.
I would say you all would also remember this town never had a town guard.
There was the ranger tower, but we found
there was the ranger tower, and the rangers guarded the tower.
I think I thought that's what we were looking for.
Do I still have Morgus's gold pen? Cool. So I think the other day I would like to take out the paper and the gold pen that Morgus gave me, and as well as drawing doodles for the children and showing them how to make airplanes, which I'm sure they want. I will keep at least one piece of paper to kind of write down some of the names I catch of people who are still missing. Even if it's just Jules' uncle who used to work at Bart.
Yeah. It does end up being kind of a makeshift list like that, but you can certainly write it all down in the fancy gold ink that Morgus gave you to write a letter home with.
I have not wondered it.
As Sille and Morgus head out, I would say you remember that there's not literally a city guard, there's just the ranger tower, and I would, Sille, you saw the pile of bodies. Morgus, you had that recounted to you by Godfrey. You know what the state of the rangers' ranks were in this area.
Hey Morgus.
Aye.
You know how we joked about how this town's security really needs to take a lesson from the court? Where's the other half of the Whimsten court?
Oh dear.
And I think realizing that there's no city guard and realizing that Whimsten only has their carousel court, I think I would like to turn my attention to look for Dee Dee's nemesis.
She's around at the tavern. I gave her knife back.
Carling. Yeah.
Oh, is she okay?
I think Morgus's thoughts have gone to.
Sille went
all
she
right,
wasn't there.
sorry.
Yeah, I ran to the cabinet and returned her purple studded knife.
No.
So she's okay.
Okay.
I feel like there's like a jolt of understanding between Sille and Morgus, and maybe we each say two different names at the same time. And the name that Morgus, as a player, I remember the blacksmith, that we, I don't think connected with Morthos. So yeah, I think Morgus just goes Morthos.
Sure. Either way, I think maybe we are heading in the wrong direction.
I mean, who's higher ranked, the kid or Kevin?
I mean, kids,
If
you know,
Morthos
they
is
seem
gone.
pretty high ranked.
I'm
Like,
honestly, we should
I mean,
consider
is
taking them in.
the court in the hands of Mr. CC or no? That's worrying.
I think this town has bigger priorities on their hands right now. I think the court's probably going through a little bit of a hiatus. In any case, I think Florencia should have a little bit of influence in it when we get back.
I would agree. I'd like to go take a look for Morthos if we got the time.
Yeah, no, I think we've got plenty of time.
Sure. It might also take a look for some herbs or something for Godfrey. A little, I don't know, foraging or something.
Godfrey did mention anything would be helpful, and while I asked, truthfully, I don't really know that I'm the best medicinally to make that call.
I've got some. I've read some books, and I mean, certainly if there's anything left over in the debris that hasn't been found, they've got a decently sharp eye.
Yeah, anything would be helpful.
Sure.
Awesome.
All right.
Both of you give me a nature check as you wander about the town searching for herbs heading towards the blacksmiths.
16.
Wow.
Okay.
All right. You find some gorgeous, beautiful, lush green plantain, which can be used. You find some yarrow and some borage and some oat straw, all medicinal herbs that can be of use to Godfrey. As you head over to the blacksmiths, you get there, and it's just this mound of rubble, which Sille, you would remember from heading this direction with Godfrey the day prior, not finding anything. But as you all approach at this point, you see smoke rising from under the rubble through the rocks of this mound of stone. That is what is left over of the smelting pot.
I'll run over, and if it's not on fire, I will try and start maybe clearing some of the debris away if it looks manageable. If it looks like it's sort of smoldering.
I think Morgus is gonna play Firewatch and like have control flame ready to make sure that whatever is either smoldering or potentially burning can be controlled.
Sille, give me an athletics check as you start to dig through this rubble.
Sweet.
Nat 20.
Whoa!
Yeah. Wait. Because proof is important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love it. It doesn't take you very long. You're able to just like lift and throw. I don't know if this is this new energy surging through you or just, you took down a fucking cyclops, man. You met some gods. Like, hell yeah, you're a new being now. Takes you maybe about 3 or 4 minutes before you see through the rubble into a large room. You haven't cleared enough stone yet to fit through, but you've cleared enough stone to see. And as you and Morgus both kind of get close to the hole in the stone to look in, you just see this yellow-skinned tiefling with like kind of a sour look on his face, just like with smelting pot going hammering out this piece of armor.
Are we?
Hello?
Hi?
I'm sorry if I'm pointing out the obvious to you, but you're in a... everything is caved in around you. Are you okay?
Oh, yeah. I figured someone would come or I would die.
We're here.
Keep busy.
Yeah, I admire you're just gonna work into... What are you making?
That's quite the outlook.
What was your last... What were you gonna make before you died? What is that? Do you want to come out? Are you...
Fresh air
Can we-
would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna die down here, so can I... And I extend my hand.
He walks over to where you are and just like gives it a shake.
Okay. I'll step back away from the rubble to sort of clear the path and show that it is open, and step back.
Morgus assists. Yeah, Morgus
Are you
assists.
coming in? He just keeps like ka-ting, ka-ting, ka-ting. And he pulls in more armor.
If that's an invitation, might as well.
Morgus,
All
this
right.
whole place might collapse. What do you...
Does it look that structurally unsound to have
It
been?
looks like the rubble has formed some sort of beautiful rounded hobbit hole of a smelting pot.
Yay!
So it was like a flash renovation, essentially. Okay. I think Morgan's gonna
Oh,
have to...
shit.
It looks all right to me. Steps inside.
He like barely pays attention to you. He'll just keep working until one of you says something to him.
So, if you died, who would wind up leading the Carousel Court out here in Whimsten?
Turns around really quickly. How do you know about that?
Because I'm a member of the Carousel Court, and so is Sille.
Of Whimsten?
No, not of Whimsten, of Florencia. You were sent out here by Weaver.
He puts a piece of the armor into the water and you hear...
Hmm.
I don't really know. I haven't thought about it.
I mean,
Maybe it wouldn't exist anymore.
I don't know about that. Kevin seems enthusiastic.
Yeah.
Got a fairly cool little clubhouse up there.
I've never been.
That tracks.
Can I help you?
Well, truthfully, we were mainly just making sure you were still alive, and here you are hammering away. So,
Should we just
kinda
leave this open
looks back at
for
Sille.
you?
Well, that'd be great. I got a big order to fill.
Sure. What? You know the town out here. I don't know who the order is for, but I don't know that anybody out here is going to be needing it right now. It's mostly repairs out here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
The town is gone.
Yeah, the commotion sort of erased most of Whimsten.
Well, that was bound to happen at some point, right? Well, yeah.
Morgus just looks up at Sille.
She shrugs. I mean,
I thought you were fatalistic.
he's got a point.
Gotta make the armor for the army.
Army.
I-
Whose army?
The king's.
Which king?
Where are you from? Upcanal?
Yes. Not aware of any war.
Don't really care about war. I'm just filling an armor order.
Is this a recent order, or is it more of an ongoing contract?
Oh, yeah. Got it about a week ago. And, it's a lot. It's 500 suits of armor, military garb. It's due at the end of the month. That's been going nonstop.
I hear that. I hear that. Do you think you'd be needing any help making any of that delivery?
Well, I don't have a single suit of full armor ready yet. I've just been making all the pieces all at once so that the molds are full.
That's different than how I've heard it done, but anyway. Well, all right. We'll leave this open if you're sure you're good. I mean, you don't have to die in here.
But the time will come.
Morgus will brush a little dust off of one of the plates of Sille's armor.
Sometimes not soon enough. Morgus, are you ready?
Yeah, I think I need to go out and get some sun.
God, I want to punch this guy so bad.
He just starts to leave.
As this is happening, what are Godfrey, Zibba,
Feeling an
and
urge
Livy
to punch
doing?
a blacksmith. Ugh. I don't know what. Edward was writing the song Livy was doing. So I wasn't thinking, as I often do.
Livy, you've been working on a song?
Yeah, I keep on I have the melody down a little bit, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very bad with this. It's so much easier to write facts, you know? But
Right.
sometimes I forgot. He plucks at his lyre a little bit. I don't know. I just
Well, if
became
you want some accompaniment.
Sure. If you're not busy, how are you?
Everyone needs a break.
Right.
Livy, I would say you find it distinctly strange that Godfrey still has no hunger, or no mention of hunger, or no outward reactions of being hungry.
Godfrey, are you hungry by any chance?
No, I'm doing fine.
Huh.
Thank you.
You see Livy write that down?
Godfrey. Godfrey pulls out his dulcimer and is like tuning it.
And a whole band.
No. I always see you. Would you like to play with me sometime? I don't know how
Yeah.
they'll sound together, but he, like
Yeah.
Livy, shows you what he's written so far. It's very melancholic, as is his jam.
I think this fits the mood quite well.
I'm
You have to
trying
forgive
not-
me.
Are you not feeling well?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Are you not feeling well?
Godfrey kind of looks around and sees the other people milling about. It's like maybe a conversation for another time.
Do you want to?
I could use the distraction of playing.
Yes, that's what I. Well, let me, play this song, and you can help me. I haven't come up with new songs recently, so I could use some help on this. I want to get it right, you know.
Sure. I'll do my best.
And he plays his half-finished song with his lyre. It is most.
It's beautiful.
It is most
the lyre and the dulcimer together and this melancholy melody. Zibba, the kids seem to like stop and listen and kind of watch in awe. These players.
What time would you say it is right now?
It's like 2:30 in the
Okay,
afternoon.
so they haven't gone very long.
Another half an hour or so goes by before Sille and Morgus join the party again. The song's becoming more and more formed. You kind of hear the melody from a distance as you approach Sille and Morgus. That is it. Thank you so much for listening. New story arc started. It's gonna be fun. Follow us on the socials. Join us on Patreon. Intro and outro by Nolan Clock. Everything else by myself and the cast. Have a great day.